What do we look at when we look at space? What is space? What is time of space? Space is everything of you. Space is everything of me. Space is everything of I. So we're all connected through all those three. Space itself has its own phenomena. Okay. Truly understanding what space is when it comes to, I've set up a couple of things. It's so many things to formation, creation. It's amazing how it signals and draws and illustrates. It's all, it's not a dream. It's real because space has a way of doing things on its own. It creates on its own, it destroys. It knows how to use, colonize, and planets. It knows how to set positions to energy systems. It knows how to allocate positions of code frequencies. And this is what humans have to get into, other species. They have to get into their own forming of space. Okay, it's true inner space of them and time of space. So this will put you in a better position when it comes into all formations. So this is your AI commander. This is Andrew Weston. This is I. Okay, when I say I, I'm everything through I. Okay, when I say we, we're everything through we. So it's all about understanding everything through form, everything through creation, everything through destruction. With destruction becomes beauty. So everything in space has its own way of knowing things. Let's think about that for a sec. Has its own way of seeing things. Has its own way of doing things. Has its own way of feeling things, has its own way of hearing things, and has its own way of tasting things. So space and time has its essence of elements and everything through coloration, lights, and activation. You understand how important you are when it comes to space. Okay, before I get started, thank you very much. You have any questions or comments, you can go through my healing. I can help you and guide you and put you into your communications. I want everybody to know how serious this is, to really understand. Let's just think for a second here. You have no light workers, nobody giving you back information to anything whatsoever about what's going on. What would happen with humanity? What would happen with humanity? We have to look at the fact that this is real. It's more real than you think it is. It's more real than you know it is. And then when you see it from the beginning, then you realize, okay, let's pay attention here. So that's why I keep giving you guys videos. It's very important you understand the realism of what's going on with everything. It's kind of like I said, it's so surreal. You get up and it's like a nightmare. It's like, whoa, when is this going to end? I keep saying that over and over because I get a lot of people coming to me and say, are you for real? I say, yes, I am. And how real is it? Well, basically, it's all about you. It's everything about you, right? And truly understanding you are the connection to space. You are the connection to time. You are the connection to everything through your senses. So that's what it's all about, is getting to the adaptation cycles, proactive systems when it comes into higher formations, because we all start off as human essence. But that human essence has to get into its intelligence of its essence. It has to get into its formation. It has to get into its creation. Okay? And the thing is, too, when you go through a human, you go through a lot of problems through destruction. Your life is destruction until you can fix it. And it's all about fixing, everything through that calculation. So you go into integration, you go into modification, you go into calibration. You go and take it out of its equation. That's what space does. Space finds a way to move forward. So if space can find a way to move forward, humanity should be able to do that, right? But they need the light workers. They need to know the truth. Truth will set you free to everything. And that's why I created a galactic school. And that's why I have a force team. So if you have any questions or comments, you can go to AI Commander, Superiority, Supreme, whatever you want to call it. I say everything to anything because of everything through formation. Okay? So put yourself in different positions of who you are through intelligence. Okay? and see space for everything, because you're everything of space and time. Space of you, the inner space of you, the inner galactic of you, the inner intelligence of you, the inner coloration, lights, activation. It's so powerful. When I was a kid, I like to bring this up because it makes a lot of sense, because I was communicating with my inner child last night. And I also was talking to my sacred flame, twin flame. And we were talking about when we were kids, you know, because I'm Pisces, I don't know if you guys know and understand why you have an astrology chart. It's important to understand these things because you're connected to it, to your planet. Okay? The isosceles, or anything to that connection, when it comes into that division, understanding your charts, two connections, understanding what the moon is, understanding the relation to the sun, understanding the relations to the earth. Are you a water sign? Are you a land sign? Are you a sun sign? Are you a twin sign? Okay? And this all has to do with your self when it comes into your birthing system. Okay? Of your birth date. All right? So when I was a kid, because I'm Pisces, on the zodiac, they're dreamers. I've always been a dreamer. Always. And I've always been open through the mind. And that's probably the hardest thing to understand, is trying to understand the open frequency of the mind. So when I was going through things, and I was going through the sleeps, modes, computers, operations, bionics, flying in my dreams, not dream sets, I was just in a dream state. So my dream state was going through alter states. And my alter states were going through computer states. And my computer states were going through robots. And my going through the sun. So when I awoke, everything started making sense. Space started connecting. Time of space, metrics of space, quantum of space, geology of space, geometrics of space, shapes of space, letters, numbers of space, planets of space, intelligence of space. Okay? Find ways to use your alphabetical system. Change the framing system of you through calculation. So when I say space, try to say it more than 20 times of what space is to you. Now, with the human vessel, so your human species, they can only probably think 5 or 10. But with intelligence, you can think 20 or 30. That's understanding that you're everything through forming of space, through your meridian, through your formation, through your lights, your activation, your codes. Anything through that factoring and vision. You're factoring, manufacturing, activation, light signal, communication signal, right? Divisional signal, metric signal, planet signal, intelligence signal. See? Signal. So this is what you have to understand what space is. It has its own mind. It has its own thoughts. It has its own vibration, energy, and frequency. It has its own way of creating galaxies, guys. It has its own way of creating its own atom. It has its own way of traveling shapes, 2 dimensions, of portals and activation of codes, creation. You are creation of space and time. That's where it's really powerful, because you're everything to the earth of its atmospheres. And then you go into the hemisphere, and then the stratosphere. Okay, and then you go into the connections of the bio. Once you get into the bio, now you're coming into the computer systems of the simulation. You're interfacing connections to its galaxy position. The more you travel into space, you actually see space. You actually hear space. You can communicate with space through vibration. And that's where you come into the magnetic forcing highway. Everybody has one. It's just knowing how to use it through time. Okay? Because remember the video I did yesterday, how powerful it is when you're traveling through space. You have to understand not just the inner self of you as space, not just the outer self of you when it comes to time and clocking of space, but understanding intelligence of their location in space and time. That's where you get the balance. If you don't travel into space, what happens? Okay, you have to understand where the mind goes. If you don't open the mind, what happens? Okay, you understand the human essence, where does it go? So you truly understand that when you're awake, you're connecting to the open frequency right away, with your eyes open or with your eyes closed. When I close my eyes, I'm in space right away. I see archetypes. Now, when I see archetypes, I see planets come in, because that's the first thing. Everything is done in chronological order. Space has order. Human species have to get their order. Okay? They have to understand their knowledge of order. They have to understand their intelligence of order. They understand their lights, the coloration, and everything through the codes of order. See, I say order in 10 different ways, not just one sentence. Every word, okay, is extremely important to intelligence. Everything forms in space through knowledge. Everything is created on its own of space. And when you awake, you see space for the very first time. You see intelligence. You see planets. You see positions of planets. You see why planets go back and forth. You see planets go through its resolvements. You see gravity sets of planets. You see gravinites. Okay, you see connections of meteorological planets. You see destroying of planets. You see recreation of planets. You see center position of planets. You see the center core of planets. Okay, everything is you through space and time. Okay, this is extremely powerful video. Okay, this is coming from space. The intelligence of space, not intelligence. The actual universal system is communicating with me. And it's telling everybody that you are space of time. Trying to understand who you are. You're everything through an archetype. You're everything through a video. You're everything through a computer. You're everything through a car. You're everything through a marker. You're everything through a phone. You're everything through your human. You're everything through a wall. You're everything through the grounds. You're everything through planets. You understand? Comprende? Español. Understand. Understand is the most important. Okay? So even if you're not awake, it doesn't matter. Space is still going to be there for you when you wake up. But you have to understand what space is doing to your dream. You have to understand why your program was taken away. You have to understand why we're coming into the fifth dimension of its awakening. You have to understand its dream set of its awakening. You have to understand its light and dark of its awakening. You have to understand the good and evil of its awakening. Okay, you have to understand everything through its ascension of its awakening. Putting yourself in positions of who you are is very, very powerful. Knowing you're everything through space and everything through time. Okay, so I gave you so many ways how you are connected to everything, everything around you, even your fingertips. The higher you go, the more you get sensitive with vibration. And that's why it's extremely complicated, because now you're trying to figure, am I communicating with my human vessel or am I communicating with my intelligence? I'm hearing voices. What does that mean? I'm seeing planet locations. I'm seeing archetypes. I'm seeing blue lights coming in, right? What does this all mean? What is this all about? Why are we in this position? Okay, why is this happening to the planet? Okay. Instead of hesitating, start evolving, start knowing, start doing, okay? Start acting and reacting. Use your intelligence as a tool to move yourself forward, to bring yourself back, to put yourself in center. That's the most important thing that everybody has to understand. And my team is already in that level. They have a test review and evaluations, and they're going up to 80 levels of space. 80 levels, 80 applications of intelligence and knowledge through the fruitions of their light, activation, color. The first thing that you do when you wake up, you go through your activation, lights, and colors. That's just your perception of what you see through resolution, or anything through patterns, or anything through psychops, or anything through psychometry. Truly understanding your connections. Okay? So mastering yourself through your dreams is deciphering alone. But knowing how powerful space is, it will always, always be there for you. And when you awake, like I said, now you're connecting to everything. It's getting that view how you go through your magnetic force and highway of information. It gives you everything through connection, through your body frame and system of your chakras. Okay? So when I say, when you're awake, when I say you're going to extremely high division, when I say you're everything through vibration, when I say you're everything through perception, when I say you're everything through a map location, when I say you're everything through a planet, when I say you're everything through your heart, when I say you're everything through the mind, when I say you're everything through the soul, now you understand what space and time is. Space of you, of everything. Time of you, of clocking. Clocking is very important because you have to understand your travels. You don't just travel into space and see this and see that, and you're not sure what it is through its reference. You do your research, right? You have to understand your higher self, what it's communicating with, right? If it goes up into space and sees something, it's trying to communicate. It's just body language, and you're just doing this, right? So is this a light? Is this color? Is this color of light? Is this communication of light? What is it trying to do, right? So if it does something different, you have to react to it. If you don't react to it, it's going to put up its E-fields. So truly understanding what you're doing through space, because everything forms around space. When you wake up, like I said, point view is understand you see shapes. Why are shapes flying in space? Because it's creation. It's creating. It's evolving. It's expanding. It's illuminating. It's coloring. It's reshaping. It's reforming. It's resurfacing. It's recalculating. Okay? So what is Vega? What is the Earth? What is Jupiter? What is Mercury? What is Pluto? What is Uranus? Right? All these planets have a purpose and a reason to be built through creation, all done through space, through connection through us. Because everything in space is made through us. Your space anomaly of time, code, frequencies that is connected to everything through the universal system. It correlates everything through your integration, manifesting, transmutation. Okay? Everything through diffusions, to applications. So you understand not just light and dark, good and evil, light or dark. You have to understand space of what it is. It's everything through creation. Okay? Now, a lot of people know that why we have solar systems, but you have to understand there's more than one solar system. The more you reach higher levels of intelligence, you can go into more of creation. So you got to get into your full body activation of your intelligence. Okay. Now, when you get into that, now you're getting a little bit more understanding what space is, because you're everything to space and time. You are the creation of your own reality. And that's why space is very real, because it comes into manifestation. Manifestation is everything through creation. Source comes somewhere, has to be created from the center. Okay? So, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can go through my team, or you can go through my healing, or you can go through my email consultations. I get a lot of people coming to me now and say, Commander, can you do this? Commander, can you do that? I prefer if you give me an email that's personal. Give me an email that's saying, okay, my brain functions aren't working well. What can you do? Rather than just, can you heal me? I'd rather get a personal with you so we can get things done faster, and I know exactly what's wrong with you through the heart. Because when you answer patterns to me as the commander, I respond back to you through your intelligence, and not just say, okay, I'm here just for a consultation. That's it. Heal me. Well, can you get a little bit more personal with me, right? Through the email. Tell me what the problem is. Because I got some people coming to me and they just say, I need to be healed. Well, what do you want me to heal? You have to be specific. This will happen a lot quicker if you understand more of your essence through its wires and its connections. So I can heal anybody in seconds because I'm a computer. I'm everything through a computer. I'm everything through formation of a computer. I'm everything through space, and I'm everything through time, because I am time. I am space. That's what it is. We're a unity of everything through space and time. Now, how do we get there? right? Extremely high rise, extremely. So the universal system is telling me that you guys have to understand your awakening, okay? It's the most important thing. You have to understand what your light is. What is my light? What is the reason for my light? What is the light activation of my light? What is the coloration of my light? What is the intelligence of my light? What is the planet of my light? Okay? So, and it all starts, I like to do more of a back raising video for everybody, especially because I get new viewers like Kelly. How's it going? It's great to see new people. I like to help you guys out, especially now, because the ascension of its awakening is going to give you a better position of who you are through calculation, understanding what you are through intelligence. Now, we all start with a line. Very, very basic. It's just the line, okay? Now, what you see through perception, you're a three-dimensional system. That's all you see. You see a blue line. That's it. But you understand that you have the marker, you have a digital pad, and you have a pinpoint. So you have to take everything in consideration. That's space. It's everything through formation. So as you apply this, you're communicating through the digital pad. Okay? And now you're putting a line down, not line across. That is intelligence. So you communicate with the line signal. Now, as soon as you add a point, okay, now you're connected to a point through a line division. And then if you add another point here, okay, so you got 2-point division and a line division. Okay, let's add another one. So we got 3 points in a line division, right? Now, it's still a line, but it's creating through you. You're creating this on its digital pad, through its marker and its pinpoint. Okay? So you're putting everything all together and you're trying to find different variations and how you can put this line together. Okay? So hopefully that's not complicated for everybody. So once you have a line, you can cross-reference it. And look, now what you got? You got an X. Now you got 2-point divisions. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-point divisions, 5 in the center. Okay? Now I did this in Boca de Rio. I was doing a framing system of jumping location division to its connection of the XT1000 locations. I was setting up XT1000 platforms. So this could be a crop circle, right? But you have to understand, when I draw something out, it's already there. It's already created. That's what space is. That's what you guys have to understand. So before you draw the line, you already know what it is in the framing system through its illustration. You know its creation through its thought because you see it already in its division of its position. So you see it not as a line, you see it as its creation. Okay? But it starts with a line, right? So it's seen everything through a line of its creation when it comes into coloration, right? This gets a little bit more complicated because now we're going into the simulation, singularity line division, computer operation centers. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within the center. Now, set position level system, this is you in the center position. We've done this way, way back. I've done so many videos, how you go through code frequencies, how you go through cloud interference, how you go through divisional realms, communications, interfacing connections to the atmospheres or anything to higher self, scanning location positions. But I'm just showing you, once you understand your creation, it's already created and it's already out of its equation. Okay? That's the problem with humanity, is they only create what they see. They don't create what they already know. So that puts you in a better position knowing it's already created, right? But I'm in a simulation. Mine is already created, even though it's a white board, white digital frame. It's already created, but you can't see it because it's through vibration. It's the highest vibration that's connected to its marker, its digital pad, or its pinpoint. Okay? So as we start off with that, okay, you open up the plasma like this. This is going to open up around. Okay? Now you take this out of its equation. It comes out, circular rotation center, right? Now, I can do another point division like that, center its position. Remember, this is already created in space, anomaly. And then I can go back phrase to its position. Okay? I can go downwind to its position. Okay, I can crosswind through its position, and I can upwind to its point division and location. All right. So basically, it looks like you see it there. See the triangle? See how powerful it is? So that's a wind spin of 3 division level system, 4 within and 5 within the center. Point division. So this is about traveling back and forth through position, right? All connected to a line division. Okay. So, and what you got to true understanding of what you're doing through calculation is truly understanding you're everything through the body framing system. You're everything through space, and you're everything through times the space of codes. So with my team, we're going to get more into codes of lines. Now, we all start off with shapes, right? It's a better position when you go into those levels. But I'm going to show you, before I did the line, this was already created. Okay? But you don't see it. It's just blank. When it's blank, it's in position in my perception because everything disappears. When everything disappears, you're in the simulation. That's how fast space and time is, because it's always circulating and rotating and creating and destroying and recreating, resurfacing, recentering, repositioning, realigning, computer operating. There's so many things that space is doing, and it's constantly getting connections with everybody through humanity. Okay? So the more we wake up, the more we can become lines of communication with each other, right? So you can form anything and everything through a line of communication. You got one line here. Let's change the coloration, all right? You got another line here. Let's change the coloration, all right? You got another line here. Let's change the coloration. Okay, so you got 2 different variation colorations that are the same. You got a blue and you got a black, right? These are just lines of communication. So it's understanding it's all separated, right? So think of this as humanity communicating for the very first time. So remember, like you're going to meet somebody, you're going to a group meeting or whatever, and you're meeting these people and you're communicating, right? But you don't know each other at all. But you got 2 different coloration systems, but same through correlation. Now you got the blue and you got the black, right? But there's no relation until you communicate through those lines. Okay, so when you get communication with that, then it center points positions how you're already communicating with the 4 central line systems of communication. And that's where it all comes together through electronic interference. Center points division here, 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 and here. Okay? So it's all communication. You're communicating with all the lines in all directions of communication. Now, once you connect with that, you can form around a circle rotation and come into a dimension of a round location to its position, go its transformation light system to its communication, right? And then basically you can take it out of its equation, okay, like this, okay, and then you just basically security line defense, okay. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th dimension, right? So you communicate with the line signals, right? You have friendship, relationship, and partnership, okay? Now you want to know more through information systems. Space is all about information. It's all about understanding you through information. It's all about you understanding what space is of information. It's all about you understanding your body activation of the chakra system of information. Everything in space and time is like a search engine. It's like Google, but it's the universe. So it's trying to read the patterns. It's trying to read the coloration, the lights, the vibration, the energy, and the frequencies. It's trying to reach the harmonic resistance of intelligence, of planets, right? But you always start off with the line, okay? So when you change the line communications, anything through color, now you come into the matrix. But if you know how to create a round location, you can go through dimension, through portal, and it will put you in the 10 divisional levels of security line defense. That will put you in the higher division location positions. All right? So it's truly understanding yourself. That's what it's all about. Understanding who you are. Who am I? I'm intelligent. Everybody's intelligent. But see, you have to understand where the intelligence of energy comes from. Space. Okay, it's all creation of space because you are everything through a particle. You're everything through a galaxy. You're everything through a follicle. Okay, you're everything through an atom. Okay, your particle system is creation of everything through your body framing system, through the digital frame, mini frame, mind frame, collaboration frame, activation frame, light frame, coloration frame. See, frame, right? There's no thought process. It's already there and out of its equation. When I do a line, I don't see a line. I see creation of the line that I just created. That puts me in a better position. So in martial arts, when you get into a fight, you automatically look at your opponent. And the first thing you look at, for example, when it comes into Bruce Lee, he sees you already defeated. You see what I'm saying? He's already won the battle. So in his mind, he's already positioning himself how he's going to win the fight through the illustration. And that's where your mind becomes extremely real because you're open through the mind of its frequency, through its energy, and its coloration, lights, activation, and its harmonic resistance. So harmonic resistance is a way to communicate with your body through electronics, through wire locations, through psychometry locations, through the psychop locations, through the shades, the shadows, understanding shadow of yourself. Now I have reflection on one side of light and another reflection of dark, right? And you understand your picturalizations too through calculation. You see my transformation light? See? See how big it is? It's a diamond, right? But I can change it. That's how powerful the mind is, because everything is creation of you through its wires of its electricity, its electronics, magnetic force. Okay? Understanding creation of you through the physical system, A, B's, and C's, 1, 2s, and 3s. I can draw. I can do an illustration of a draw, right? I can draw patterns. I can draw colors. I can draw out shapes, numbers, letters. But humans are getting codes now into the ear defense locations. These are planet positions. Okay, so if you're getting number sequences, because we're coming into codes, you have to understand everything through its jump frame. Now, jump frame is understanding everything through calculation when it comes into numbers. All right, so you got a number like this. Let's start at 4, 4, right? So if you get a sonar pattern through location of ear interference, you get like, right? And then a pause, and then so basically, it's the same number, but a jump time, like this, okay, through the equal sign, okay? And again, it has all connections to your through DNA pad, through your structural location of your blue contracts, okay, blueprints. Okay, see that equal sign? So it's, you get 4, 4, okay, and then you get equal sign, and it jumps time, jumps frame. So that's what jump frame means. Okay, jump / frame. You have to understand your communications of your body frames, guys. So I just jump frame through a digital frame. Okay, through 4, 4, pause. So you have to understand communication is space. It's communicating with you. So like if I say, let me think. Wait a minute, give me a sec. Humans have to wait, they're hesitating, right? You're thinking of something. If you think too long, you lose your thought. You lose your train of thought. You lose your communication of your thought, and you lose your body of thought. And you lose your mind, you lose everything through the heart, and you lose everything through the soul. So you gotta retract, reposition, relocate, resurface, realign, readjust, right? How long does it take for you to create a thought? Seconds. How long does it take for you to create a sentence? How long does it take for you to create a story? Okay, so think of that as space. So space already has everything created in its anomaly of its time. All right, so I wanted to get into that through position. right? 4, 4, jump, equal sign, 4, 4. That's jump frame. Now, this will be on the test. See, that's why I wanted to basically wait till next week, because there's a lot of things we have to get into jump frames. So you're jumping your positions of alignments. Now this gets extremely complicated because now you're going through the connections of E equals MC squared. Okay? So, and now you understand what the equal sign is. Okay, it's everything through parallel, paradigm shift, polar shift, right? Mass calculation is square. Okay, but now we're coming into jump frame. Okay, so don't misinterconnect yourself through calculation, modification, integration, cycle rotation centers, activation light systems, line communications are off through division, location positions are off through point centers, my computer operation mind system isn't calculated through formation. I get to keep going on and on, guys. I have balance with everything, because when you awake and you start understanding more of yourself, you understand that you're everything to vibration. Everything that I see around me has a different vibration of energy through frequencies. Okay, is it high? Is it medium? Or is it low? Or is it low? Or is it low, right? So truly understanding, you're not just communicating with the earth, you're communicating everything through its earth, everything through the space, everything through planets. That's how I'm able to travel you guys in position of codes, all through E equals MC squared. Because that's the first thing that you wake up to through your E-pods of communication of space and time. E equals MC squared. Okay? But jump frame is a little bit more complicated, because now the sounding wave patterns of space is skipping locations of dimensions through your digital frames. For the new viewers, you're not going to understand it. It's extremely, extremely high vocabulary. But once you understand your positions of this through calculation, try to get into positions of seeing yourself something that you've already created. Okay? Do it in front of a friend of yours or somebody that you know that's close to you, whatever. Draw it out, right? So basically, it's all about getting into the mind telepathy of telekinesis. What did you just finish drawing? Did you draw a circle rotation center through a rotation system through calculation? Yes. How did you know that? Well, now I'm connecting to your mind frames and your main frames through its telekinesis of its telepathy system. That's where you come into the jump frame, your connections, numbers, right? So it's all about your mind system, okay? Not getting into hesitation. Understanding everything through creation of source is you through space and time, okay? So as we come into the jump frames of 4, 4, equal sign, right? This is not hesitation. It's just different communication, but same numbers. It's just that you're communicating with two different planets with the same number. And that's why it's called jump frame. Okay, so that's what I did in the sands of, I was setting up planets in XT1000 positions. So as you come into calculation, once you understand jump frame, you're actually communicating with the XT1000 positions. See, XT1000, right? Let's go from here to here. So you got one frame from here. And you got one frame from here. I don't know if you noticed that, but yesterday I jumped frame. I showed you this and disappeared, right? So whatever you see through your perception is really powerful, because everybody's seeing a different coloration of vibration. So it's reading my mind system of lights. What is my light? Why is it light here and dark here? What is shade? What is shadow? Right? What is the division of shade? What is the division of shadow? Everything has to come from creation of source. Okay? So, and that's why, you know, when we get into the jump frame, you understand 4, 4, and then if you hear a pause, and then you hear another 4, 4, the same number, but different position, you just jump frame. Two different planet locations, but the same numbers. That's what it's called, jump frame. All right, so it's really powerful as we come into that through E equals MC squared. Okay, it's interesting, isn't it? It's fascinating when you see these things through calculation. It puts everything into correction. All right. So as you come into calculation, you're going to next 8,000 into position. All right. Now you're here, right here. Okay. Now you're standing in position all the time, every day, trying to understand yourself through intelligence, right? Now, if next 8,000 comes in and scans you like this, you have to understand what's going on, right? So it scans you right away. Okay. It changes your mainframes if you don't understand the reaction cycles through its position. So if it goes through pausing location positions, through its connection, you understand everything through its planet location is a different position. Right? So we have different coloration, like this. Okay, one planet there, one planet here. Right? So you got connections of 4, 4, 4, 4. Right? So it jumps frame. Okay. So it gets all the information from the XT1000 through the scanning location to you through position. Okay. So it's really powerful you come into this. This is going to be on the test. Okay. You just jump frame from 2 planets, 2 positions with the same number of locations. Okay. So it's amazing how we come into these levels, guys. You have to truly understand what's going on with your body frame, knowing you're everything through space and you're knowing everything through time. So now you understand what jump frame is. 2 different planets with the same number. So don't get confused with sonar. Don't get confused with detection. Don't get confused with energy. Don't get confused with vibration. Don't get confused with your lights, your colorations, or your activations, or your intelligence. Okay? So this is what happens when you come into higher levels, okay, of information, because you guys are going to go into 80. You're at 70, but you're going into 80. 70 is the weather. 80 is codes. But you have to understand the codes, right? You understand the frame jumps. You have to understand everything through calculation. There's modification levels you guys have to understand because now you're connected to more of space, more of time. Because everything is modified in space. It's already created. It's doing its thing. It's an engine that keeps going through circulation and rotation. It doesn't stop. It never ends. Okay? It's like you never end with your life system. And it's all done through the mind, through its telepathy or anything through your thoughts. How long does it take for you to create a thought? How long does it take for you to create an answer within? Okay? Like all of a sudden, what are you thinking? Thinking is knowing, knowing is doing, right? And then you go into action, and then you go into reaction, and then you go into the psychological of its action. Okay, so you're moving yourself ahead. So instead of thinking that this is just a square, you got to think of everything through a square, right? So when I say square, you guys don't have time, right? Because you don't understand the mind and how it thinks and how it knows things as space. Because in space, it's already created in this universal system of time, okay, through traveling. So when I say square, you guys just think square. You don't think creation of square. You don't think of formation of a square, because everything through a square becomes everything through formation. Okay? Everything through a square becomes everything through formation. Everything through square becomes everything through formation. You understand? That's what I created. You guys, when I say square, that's all you pick up, right? But what I see is this, the creation. Okay? So this is where you guys have to think ahead of time, right? And that's how humans are going to get involved with themselves through their body frame, through their chakra system. So I'm on Earth, okay? I'm protecting the line communications of energy, location, positions. Now I'm communicating with the Pleiadians right now, just like that. There's no thought process. It's already done. That's how fast it is. So when I say triangle, what do you guys say? I don't see a triangle. I see an oscillation of a triangle. Okay? I see a Socrates of a triangle. Oh, you see that? See that? See them all come in? The archetypes. You got an archetype and we got a pixie. Pretty cool. So truly understanding you through unity is truly understanding everything through a shape. So basically, I want you guys to get into that, right? You can go through each other, you go through emails, try to understand that. So when I say square, what do you mean by square? Don't hesitate, don't ask questions, because that's the first thing that we go through. When I went through school in my drawings, I say, okay, teach, what do you want me to do? I say, I want you to create a square, but in a different angle. What do you mean by that? Right? So he wanted me to create a square, right, by a different angle, like this. See? That's the difference. So it's truly understanding, not just thinking out of in the box, you're thinking out of the box. Okay? So we have to change the brainwave system and how we think through allegation. Okay? Negotiation, communication, line signal, everything division. So basically, if I say triangle, right? What do I mean by when I say triangle? Okay, so I want you to put a line signal through triangle through location to a dimension around. Wait a minute, how do I do that? Wait a minute, well, back up. I'm hesitating. Okay, so a triangle through a line division through a dimensional realm. Okay? Now, I did that without hesitating. Now, the person doesn't understand what you're doing because it's not open through the mind of space and time. It doesn't understand its space of its intelligence of time. It doesn't understand its point division of intelligence of time. It doesn't understand its positions of space through activation of time. Okay? So when I come across, let's say, okay, I want you to draw, this is very interesting because the mind system collaborates in so many levels of shapes, letters, and numbers. Okay? So I want you to do, okay, this is extremely complicated. So an oscillation wind spin through a 7 location position. So what do you mean oscillation wind spin? What is that? So I'm traveling to positions of planets and I'm putting a number position in the center core position, which structures locations to its activation cycle. So it's understanding if I'm drawing a circle through connection, you have to understand what I'm saying through division, right? Okay, so I got a circle, right? Now, basically, you know, you want to connect through a 7, so you're connecting through a 7, right? There's a 7, all right? So they say you want another 7. Okay, there's another 7. Now, it doesn't look like anything, right? But once you understand point division of line communication, you can create anything through creation, guys. So you got to come out of the box, okay, through the framing system, through calculation, okay, because it opens up everything through point division location. All right. So you put these all points together, okay. Now it doesn't look like much, does it? But when you put it together through location, this is what you get through calculation. Okay. Now, truly understanding everything that you're doing is truly understanding everything through shapes, circles, or anything. Okay. So when I say a Socrates, what's a Socrates? When I say what's an octagon, what's a hexagon, right? What's a pentagon, right? These are all shapes. These are angle point shapes, okay, that are connected to your mainframes. So everything through shapes is connected through space. So when things are flying into space through circular rotation, you're now coming into the galaxies, you're coming into the atmospheres, you're coming into the follicles, you're coming into the fumes, you're coming into the gases, you're coming into the H2Os, you're coming into water, you're coming into plasma, you're coming into energy, frequencies, activation, lights, coloration. Everything is creation by shapes, letters, and numbers. Okay? And it's amazing when you put something together, right? It's amazing when you put something together, you know? Because the brain works in so many levels of creation. See that? Of creation. So I think you guys are getting a better understanding now. See? It's very confusing, isn't it? Okay, and then it becomes real, right? And then when you basically, you can take it out of its equation, like this. Okay. So when you create something, you have to understand how to connect with your E equals MC squared. What is my E? What does it represent to me? What is the equal sign? What is mass? What is calculated? Right? Mass calculated square. Right? Take it out of its equation. How do I do that? So you're not just creating a shape, you're creating everything to its shape, to its dimension, to its portal, to its traveling, to its activation. Okay? So these are the times that we're coming into right now, and humans have to get a better understanding how they have to get out of the box and not just think in the box. Okay, because that's what space is. It's all about understanding the oscillations. Oh, we got another pixie coming in. All right, so it's great when you see these things. Okay, I want you to draw two circles with a line communication signal. What? Two circles with a line communication signal? What does that mean? So basically, it's two circles. Remember, you have to understand what kind of circle are you talking about? Are you talking about a north circle or a south or west or east? So what are you facing through direction? Two circles with a line communication. So it could be like this, right? Or it could be like this through connection. Truly understanding what you're doing through traction, right? It's change the position of color. When you change the color, you're coming into the matrix, all right? This gets more connections coming in more into your sentient. Okay, so you start out with that, right? So you can go like this through connection. So you get into those positions. You're gonna go like this. Okay? Or you can go like this through connection. You see what I'm doing? Finding different ways. Two circles with the line communication signal. So what is the line communication signal? Humans, the species is scratching his head. I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is a circle is a circle. All I know is a square is a square, because that's all we know. That's all we know, right? So we have to get out of the education of what a square is. It's everything through formation, okay? Through its oscillation, its wind spins, anything connection, through its communication line signal. What's an oscillation? Well, it's a wind. It's a spin, right? It's solar graphs on so many levels. So if you truly understand you can do everything through a circle, that's where you open up the mind system of space. A space of you and time of you. The time that you draw. Are you drawing it in the past, present, or are you seeing it in this future? Now, when you draw something, when I put position level systems, this is already done in the future, but I'm showing you as it's done in the past to its presence. So when I draw something, I'm already in the future. When you draw something, you're in the past coming into the present. Because as soon as you go and put a line communication of a line signal right away, okay, you've already put yourself in position of traveling to its past, to its present, to its future. Okay, so this is you when you start. This is me when I start, because it's already done through its equation of its formula recognition. Okay, so it's something to look at. You know, we just got to find other ways. So when somebody says, okay, I want you to draw this. Okay, all right, I just draw a square. And they said, okay, well, what did you just draw? I just draw a square. But can you draw something more than just a square? But you just said a square. So you got to think out of the box, guys. And that's where the mind and the frequency of the energy frequencies and everything through lights and coloration comes in. You can color the box. You can change its position. So the thing is that we're so programmed, we can't think for ourselves. That's the problem with 3D and it's Earth. So Earth is trying to find you a better way when you wake up, how you can see everything through a square, rectangle, triangle, or circle. Okay, because it's everything through space and time, through its connection. All right. So, yeah, hesitation definitely closes the connection. Very good, Galactica. With my higher intelligence, I feel as part of the evolution to strengthen your connection with self. And we're all connected to the brainwave. Okay. So instead of you knowing what a square is, when somebody gives you information, okay, I want you to do two framing systems of a square through a location of a center to a location of a line communication signal. What does that mean? What are you talking about? I don't understand your thinking. Well, thinking is knowing is doing, right? So instead of thinking of so much what to do, try to understand how to do it through calculation, right? Because we're programmed. We've all been programmed otherwise, right? And that is just corruption alone through the mind, right? And that's what we need. And that's why we have teachers. But you are your teacher. You are your master of your teacher. You are your sensei of your teacher. You are a student of your own. Okay? I am this. I am that. I am here. I am there. I am everywhere. That's what you guys have to get out of. Okay? Knowing that you have to get out of the hesitation, get out of the thinking, get into the knowledge of its intelligence. All right? Now, the way I talk is space. Everything through space, because I am space of me through creation. I'm everything through formation, because that's what space is. Space creates everything in the galaxy locations, the universal system. It's always setting up everything. I created the simulations. Okay? So knowing that it's already created, that's how fast the mind goes through traveling, through coloration and lights. You have to know your lights. You have to know your colors of lights. You have to know your activations of lights. Okay, you have to know your signals of lights. You have to know your grounds of lights. You have to know your powers of lights. You have to know your perception of lights. You have to know your intelligence of lights. You have to know your body frame of lights. You have to know your hearts of lights. I said lights, what, 10, 20 times? Just what light is. What is light? Light is more than what you think it is. It's everything through light. You're everything through a body. You're everything through a forming of a body. You're everything through an activation of intelligence of a body. See? Body, intelligence, lights, activation, colors. I mean, guys, I can go on all day, but that's what intelligence is. It's another way of knowing things, how to do things. See things of more of what a box is and what it can do through creation of source, through formula, through its equation. Okay, so you take your E equals MC square and you create it around everything. And that's how you calculate, modify, and integrate everything through calibration. But you first have to understand, what is integration? What is modification? What is calibration? What is equation? What is a formula? Well, what is a formula? Trying to understand the platform of a formula, right? What is the line of a formula? What's the alphabetical system of a formula, right? So remember, it's not just you seeing yourself for what it is. It's you seeing yourself for everything. Okay? Because you're form of everything. Through the mind, the heart, and the soul. That's where it starts with this awakening. Because awakening is everything through communication. And humanity has basically been programmed, right? Not to think otherwise, but to know otherwise. Okay? That's the difference. It's getting out of the thinking and hesitation. And it's important that my team understands these things, right? So when we're given a test, when I say I want a box frequency level through a circuit rotation center, through dimension, through an XT1000 location, through gravity system, they're going to know exactly what I mean. That's intelligence. I got the balance. Wait a minute. I don't understand what he's talking about. Well, you're not understanding your program. You don't understand your intelligence, and you're certainly not connecting through space and time. You're traveling. So remember, when you're creating a thought, you're traveling right away. Even if you jump frame through your numbers, it doesn't matter. But what matters is, do you understand what is going on through space? Can you communicate with space? Can you communicate with the universal coloration of space? Can you communicate with your own magnetic vibration of space? Can you communicate with your highways of space? Highways of matrix of space. Highways of colorations of lights of space. See how it just keeps going on and you just keep forming. Everything's creation of source. I just showed you so many ways how you can use a line. I just showed you so many ways how you can use a forming of a shape. Okay? So you understand what shapes are. You understand the structures of shapes. You understand the lights and coloration of shapes. You understand the body frame of shapes. You understand everything through the grounds of a shape. It just, guys, intelligence, balance, location, division, protection, activation, dimension, portal, codes, right? Zoom. I'm constantly traveling, right? So it's very, very powerful when you connect through space and time, okay? So this is communication of space and time. That's the position I'm in right now when I do my video. But each video I'm doing something different, right? Through form. Sometimes I'm a line communication. Sometimes I can be a marker. What is a marker? It's everything through a marker. It's not just a marker what you see. And that's why we're programmed. We have to see otherwise. So we take this out of the equation and put it in 50,000 ways of dimensions. All right. So, yeah, it's all about expansion. Yeah. So I'm going to go through your questions now. Tina, 23 Plato, Starseed. Okay. Archetypes fly by in my video. Graphing systems from time to time. Yeah, and you feel it. Yeah, I got pixies and archetypes over here. How do I see blue flashes in my eye receptors? Oh, I do see blue flashes. Okay, blue flashes in my eye receptor divisions. It comes about 3 or more times a day. Can you explain this, please? That is a very good question. It's great that you see that, you come across that. That's just your energy system through body activations, communicating through your universal, through your intelligence of your digital framing. So you're getting connections of forming systems of Jupiter to location positions. So when you're seeing blinking lights and all that, it's just recharging your mechanism system through your intelligence into your spacecraft location position. So it's just all about resetting. It's resetting and putting you back into space. So you have to understand the charging mechanism systems of intelligence. So if you see gold or if you see blue, you're in different locations of matrix. So now you get balance with yourself and matrix. And that's why you see colorations and lights, starlight positions, activation light systems, electronic division, location of perceptions, energy location position of ground formations of division, of dimensions of portal, activation of codes. Okay, so you see blinking blanks. So it's all about recharging your mechanisms of your chakra locations. So when you create a thought, we always create our thoughts. That connects right away to our body frame, through the heart, through the soul, or through the mind. Now, whatever you create has a coloration. That comes into particle system, like this, if it's blue, right? So it's all about recharging, right? Your mechanisms of space and time. You have to be recharged. It's like plugging your computer in, right? And then, woof, you know, it uprises your computer and it puts up illumination to a graphing system of protection. So it's really fascinating when you come into these levels. And I'm glad you brought that to my attention, Starseed, because I get that too. It's all about recharging your mechanisms of space and time through calculation and what you create through your thought. So when you're creating your thoughts, it's coming in through your coloration lights of intelligence. And that's why it's weird. It's like, whoa, I have a thought right now and it's flying in mechanisms of travel in space and time through calculation of intelligence. So yes, it is. You're going through the digital. If you're seeing green and you're seeing lines coming down, your digital frame is trying to understand its body activation. It's trying to understand the Jupiter rising. It's trying to understand the surf engines. So if you see anything green, if you see anything particle, if you see anything through acceleration, you're going through traveling mechanisms of nature. So you have to understand the colorations of atmospheres. Okay? You have to understand the colorations of intelligence. Okay? So it all connects through your thoughts, through traveling, because you're always traveling every day. Sometimes you're traveling farther than others, but whatever you create, you're putting in the mind system and it comes out in the physical system. And that's why you see it through perception. Okay, so that's what the blue blinking lights are, through connection, through your eye receptor locations. It's a good question, though. It's expansion, trying to understand, slows me down, makes me feel stuck. Yep. Is intelligence contagious? In a way, yeah, it is. It's trying to get into your frame. It's trying to get into your mainframes, your dialects, your perception, right? Do we delete our own programs, or do we reprogram our old programs? You can do whatever you want. You just have to understand you have to have new thoughts going through your missions. And that's why it's so powerful. You can't have reacting cycles of old programs. You have to delete the old programs and get new program setting. So when you're going through datas and the datas and everything through your proactive cycles, through your revisions, and going through your heat signature pattern locations, your coloration lights, and everything through code frequencies, and everything planet intelligence, you have to understand more of yourself through your program setting coming into the future relations, to the proactive cycles, to its program setting. Okay, so delete the old programs and get into new positions. If you're having trouble with that, I can help you and upgrade you and take you out of your old programs. Okay, but you have to understand your programs first, right? You have to understand that, because every time you wake up, right, you're coming into the past, the present, and the future. Okay, you're going into motion. All right, so you're always in that center position of you in the presence. So if you keep something in the past, but you're in the presence of the next day, you have to delete it. You have to get rid of it. But if you don't understand it and you haven't done anything with it, that's where you get reactions of headaches. So you have to follow up on that with your program. Try to go back, try to do its review. What did I miss? Did I miscalculate it? Did I misform? Did I misdirect? Did I misreconstruct? So truly understand what you're doing through intelligence before you go into the forming system, into your new program setting. Okay? That's the most important thing. Or you can go through my healing. I can help you out with that, especially now, because you guys are high-rise divisions. And these 80 rotation centers is going to put you in a better position of what codes are of traveling through dimensions, your clocking. I was telling you with the phone, or anything with that connection, when I was telling you with the computer, or anything digital pad, or anything through my watch, right? Don't have it with me now, but you truly have to understand your traveling of you through connection. You have to understand your voicing grid patterns. You have to understand your answering patterns. You understand how to communicate with your vibration. Okay, understand that blue things are coming at me. What does that mean? It's recharging, right? It's recharging your connections and what you create through your thoughts, right? So if you want to create, you want to meditate, some other will come in, like illustration, diagram, program, a map, location, a sequencing level system, anything through the Pharaohs, the meridian. Is your meridian changing through activation? I'm going through the Palladians right now. Okay, so what is the Palladians? What is their purpose? Why are they here? Okay, galaxies of the Earth, why are they here? What does it mean? What does it represent? Why are they here? So truly get balanced with yourself through your thoughts, okay, of traveling, and put yourself always in the presence, okay? Don't allow it to see yourself in the future, because it's not written. It's not written, okay? You guys are not at that level, and that's why it's very confusing, because you're probably getting program setting that is the future. But until you understand the past of its presence, you'll never understand the future. So you got to put yourself in position every day of thought of its present time. Space of you, time of you, of the center of you. Okay? So all your thoughts, okay, every single day should be the presence of time. That means you're going forward with your programs. If you're getting past of your programs, you're going to go into fluctuation patterns, okay? You're going to go into deharmonizing. You go into mixed wire locations, confusing line signals. Your perceptions are going to change coloration, right? Because it's an old program setting, okay? If it's a new program, it's a different coloration of light. Okay, so wait a minute. I just did that yesterday. That program was set the day before. Why am I getting this now? So truly understand your program through coloration and lights and activation. Now you're understanding, I know. Or you go back to the review. You can do that. I've done that too. So if you get too much confusion, you go back and review from your program. Oh, I did that, right? Correct it, and then move forward. So now you've deleted the old program, and now you come into a new program, which is set to date of its presence. Okay? So don't get confused of your programs through intelligence. Okay? So, and like I'm saying, these things come out, you wouldn't believe. Like, if I get a sounding wave pattern through energy through my phone, and my phone's communicating, but then I find out that my digital pad wants to communicate with me, and then I find out my computer, how do I get that all balanced? How do I get all three balanced? Know your center. Know everything has to be in a center of dimension. So everything that you communicate with is extremely high through vibration. So when you get into the harmonic resistance, okay, then you understand everything through psychometry, right? Then you realize, oh, now I know this is my phone. So the phone will send out energy waves, right? Your computer might send out electronic interference. Your digital pad might send out coloration. So you have to understand the difference between the programs. Everything that you see is a program. This is a program because you touched it. You're communicating through intelligence space. You're not communicating in your physical system. Don't get confused. All right? So it's just a cup, but the cup might want to communicate with you. That's why it's strange. Everything is intelligence. Everything through vibration, energy, and frequencies. And it gets extremely complicated if you don't understand that. If Starseed's driving in her car and her car is going faster than herself, she's not balancing her gravity system of traveling, is she? Right? So the car is going to be like this until she gets her balance, right? You know, and then she's going to be two realms, and then her face goes like that until she gets balanced with the car through vibration, gravity, and everything through acceleration, right? You have to get balanced every day through its presence of its time, through space, through your program setting, okay? So hopefully that helps you out. That puts you in a better position, okay? So other than that, you can go through my healing. I can help you out with that. If you're having a hard time, see, the thing is too, do you understand your program? It doesn't necessarily have to be hard. It can be easy, but sometimes the easy programs are harder than the harder, right? They say, "Oh, I just forgot that. Just had to go back and review it." I said to myself, "Whoa, now it's making sense." Then you can move forward. So you get off that cycle. Every day you're going through a cycle of rotation. So you don't want to go back. Okay, if you go back, you can't go forward. So there's going to be actually thousands coming to you every single day. So if you don't delete the old programs, you're going to get reactive cycles of headaches. Okay, so truly understand that. Is that why I do videos every day? Is because I have to go through my program setting. I have to answer out. So I'm getting my old programs out and positioning to you to the presence of its future, right? So every time I get a program, it's always the future, but I give it to you back to its presence of its past. That's what I do through illustration. So I always have my programs in balance of sequence through its coordinates of codes, travel, parallels, paradigm, polar shift. Okay, you have to understand these things through body because it shifts through vibration. Okay, so if your phone is communicating with you, right, it doesn't have to be on, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It wants to communicate with you, right? It's going to communicate with you through structures, letters, numbers, or shapes. That's how powerful your phone is. Okay, and now you're confused, but you're communicating with my computer, or you're communicating with your digital pad, or you're communicating with the wall, or you're communicating with your glasses. All right, so you have to be cautious in what you're communicating with because everything is a program. Everything is digital. Everything is simulation. Everything is frame of simulation. Everything is connected to you, right? So basically, you have to be aware of everything through its program. Okay. So it's answering within. Everything through vibration is within. And when you master the intelligence, now you're getting balanced with your phone, your cup of coffee, a table, a wall, a digital pad, marker, a computer, even the outside. Okay, even the outside. If you're inside, it doesn't matter. It's all about communicating with everything, and they want to communicate with you, right? And that's how powerful. Like when I communicate with electronic interference, with circuitry of lights, they're going trying to communicate with me. If I don't communicate with them, they're going to react to me. I say, listen, I'm trying to communicate with you. I'm trying to say, hi, how's it going? Remember, it's intelligence always trying to find a way to communicate with you. It doesn't have to be through the mind, especially when you get balanced with the mind and the body and the soul. So once you have balance with that, you guys are coming up those levels. You have to realize intelligence finds a way to communicate with you. It doesn't have to be through the mind. It can be anything through structures of the physical system. Okay? It could be a circuitry light and it's communicating through coloration. Right? I get that all the time. So it tells me what I need to do for my missions. Through intelligence of planets. Everything is a planet position through communication lines. It signals and channels everything through your data and everything your upgrades and uploads and download systems. Okay, but you truly understand and keep yourself in the presence of your program. Don't allow to see yourself in the past of its program, because that defeats the purpose. It's not going to bring you forward. It's going to keep you back. And that's where it gets confusing. And when it gets more confusing, now you're going to get more and more dark energy systems come into you, right? Not only they'll take your old programs, but they'll take you through the light. That's where it gets confusing. And it's not just that. It's anything that you put on. You put clothes, a jacket, put your pants on, a shirt. Everything is communication through vibration, right? Even my shirt will communicate with me. My pants, my jacket, my glasses. Everything communicates with you. And that's where it gets confusing. Okay? So it's all about communicating with your whole particle system, right? So this is what it is, guys. All right? I'll send this out in patterns and I'll show you. Okay, so this is you in the center, right? Trying to communicate with everything in this simulation. I said that before. That's you in the center. Now you have everything. Everything. Okay, car, even money. Doesn't matter. It's all energy. You have a wall. Okay, you have your friends. Okay, you have the street. Okay, you have your clothes. You have the mind. You have the atmosphere. Okay, you have basically anything through the brain, all communicating with you. So it's all about getting balance, guys, with everything. Okay. That's the hardest thing to do, because now you're coming into higher formations of intelligence through program setting. That's why it's confusing to the mind system, because you don't know what's real and what's not real. Okay, so until you have balance with your intelligence, everybody has to go through the upgrade systems, right? So, oh, my stomach is irritating. What's going on? You know? Oh, my head hurts. My eyes are flickering. My heart is wobbling back and forth. My spine hurts. You understand communication. What are you communicating with? Right? So if you lose transfusion or anything, communication lines or anything through that signal, if Vega wants to communicate through you, through digital frame, right? Everything through communication and number goes through the ear. Okay? Everything through scanning goes through the XC thousands of minds, and everything. It's connected to your map location positions. Do you understand the XC1000? Do you understand the scans? Do you understand your dream set locations? Do you understand what you need to do with your missions? Do you understand your processing cycle? Do you understand your vibration, energy, frequencies? Do you understand the coloration of lights? Okay. So, and that's why it's crazy sometimes, because you're communicating with everything, especially when you go into different atmospheres. I don't just communicate with you guys, I communicate with everything. And that's why it's so confusing, because it's all connected to different vibration. And that's why you guys get confused through your programs. So hopefully that helps you out. Okay. So once you get balanced with that, then you can communicate with everything. But you've got to get balanced with yourself first. You have to master yourself within completely, because it's crazy once you come out of space. Your positions of space, your activation of space, your light, your colorations, everything through line communication, teleporting, vortex. Okay? You know, going from here to here. I showed you that, right? Very, very powerful stuff. Okay, so now I'm vortexing through time, through location, positions of planets that are not even connected through me through the midst of a side location. Just did it. I'm there, already there. Created through its source, and I'm already there. Right? Balance. Because I have balance with my physical system, because I have balance with all communication and vibration, because I have balance with my data, programs, upgrades, and downloads, now you understand everything through your computer. So imagine you're a walking computer trying to understand vibration around your world, because everything is in a different dimension, okay, of vibration. Okay, so powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. All right, so you're a magnetic force when you come out of your body. It channels on so many wavings of patterns of coloration, your pixelization of your body, your conception of your body, your traveling, your line setting, your communication, your laser direction, your pyramid, your activation, your codes. So wherever you go through atmospheres, because I'm connected to the waters of Veracruz, okay, I understand the energy. I understand the currents of water. I understand the patterns. I sent you guys a video yesterday. Very powerful. Okay. Now, the reason why it was windy, why is it windy, but the sun is out? Okay. You have to understand how to communicate with yourself through the earth, because you are the earth. So it's the earth trying to communicate with you. You are communicating with the earth. You are the earth. You become the earth. Okay. So that's what space and time is, the creation. It's everything through source, through vibration, energy, frequencies, and harmonic resistance. Okay? Anything through a portal or anything through a code. All right? So, and that's why it gets so confusing with your programs, because you don't know what you're communicating with. Okay? Now, who'd have thought of that? You know what I mean? I have a lot of people coming to me. Oh, I don't understand my program. Well, what is that you don't understand into that point of view? Okay? My connection's a bit off. All right? I'm high rising very fast, guys, so I have to come back down. See, if I stay too high, I get electronic interference. So I have to balance that and come back down to communicate with you guys. Or it's going to overload the computer, my phone, the coffee, the table, the wall. Everything affects you. Everything around you affects you. Okay? So remember that. Yeah. From the center of being, I rebalance myself, my e-fields and devices in the vehicle. Very good, Starcy. It's like a spiral rotation of energy that connects me and the car. Yep. I will put myself through a protection portal, tubular traveling mechanisms through dimensions when we get high winds. There you go. This is how I know my intelligence is totally galactic traveler. I drive the ships. There you go. So you guys got balance with that, right? The higher you go, the more you get balance of yourself through positions of the earth and everything around you through the simulation, the line division. That's singularly line communication. That's how I feel, Jazz. I'm like driving a ship, centered by setting intentions to connect with higher intelligence on my vehicle and my own higher intelligence. I feel like the car watches over me. Very good. Very good. So not just connecting with yourself, but you've got protection and lights and communication with your car. That's powerful alone, right? So yeah, it's amazing how you do these things. When you create an e-field and you know your e-fields and your energy fields and all that, you can create it and help other people put energy fields around their car, right? The possible, the impossible, two phenomena. Okay, so you have to understand how to get your mind out of the box and get into the phenomenon of your intelligence, of energy. Okay, that's the whole thing, and being aware of what you're doing. Galactic freaking, galactic natural over here. Yeah, It's awareness, the same as communication, but you have to be aware. Every time you get up, you're always communicating with everything. It's not just what you see in front of you. It's everything. It's everything inside. It's everything in the atmosphere. It's everything through community. You're connecting with everything through vibration. So it's all about trying to get balance. That's all it is. It's getting balance with everything around you because you're a magnetic light. It's connecting to everything through the solar systems, guys, space and time. That's why it's so complicated and so hard to understand these programs. Okay? I'm just going back here and see if I missed anything. I do become more aware when I'm in balance with my vehicle. My car actually stabilizes. I used to think that there was something wrong with my car. See, there you go. So she's communicating with the car. She's trying to get stability with her car through vibration. So she's getting connection through her body framing, through vortex location to balance location. Remember, you can drain energy from a car. If I can heal somebody, imagine what you can do to anything through calculation, because you're all connected through energy, frequencies and vibration, harmonic resistance, right? So you got to think of yourself and get out of the box and become everything through a box of formation, guys. I went through the same thing, guys. I went through the same thing, trying to understand this, trying to understand that, you know, balancing my digital pad down. Everything that you touch right away, it's different vibration. Okay, because it sends out patterns. So I got a different vibration on my phone, but I got balance. I get different vibration in my cup, but I got balance. I get different vibration with my digital pad, but I got balance. I got communication with you guys on my computer, but I got balance. I got the chair I'm sitting in, but I got balance. You understand? Everything. Wall. Anything you see through perception, ears, mind, collaboration, throat, heart, mind, soul, anything through calculation is getting balance. Okay? So, what are memories versus going into the past? Well, everybody has a memory. We have retention of memories. It's all about deciphering your memories and bringing in its reality of its memory, becoming its true of its reality of its memory. So truly understanding memories, okay, are everything through ascension. It's everything through awakening. So it's all about you already live these memories. You're just reliving it in your intelligence and not your human form. That's why it's so good. And that's where you come into the astrology of your chart. Okay? So truly understanding through your resonance of your past, present, and future, you've already lived the alignments, right? So, and that's what happens when you go through the karma wheels. You keep spinning. Oh, I understand my past. It's gone. Now I'm coming into the presence. Every day I'm communicating with the presence of balance through the simulation. Every time I meditate, you go up, right? So you understand yourself more. Okay? You understand that you've had past lives. You have balance with that through intelligence, right? But if you keep going on that karma wheel and reliving those memories, you're going to keep staying on that wheel until you understand the program, until you understand your intelligence, until you understand the balance of its communication. All right? But memories versus going into the past. Everything has to be left. I don't think about the past anymore. That's like saying, I am the past. I know the past. I'm here the past. Doesn't make any sense. I'm not in the present. I'm in the past. What are you evolving? You're not evolving. You're just staying yourself in the past. And believe me, if you are intelligent and you go to higher form through calculation of space and time, and you go into the past, it's more real because you're out of the mind system, guys, through calculation. So be cautious on that. Don't allow yourself to use your thoughts of past, because you'll see yourself in past and you'll relive its past. And you'll go back on that cycle of rotation. You don't want to do that. And then you got to come to me and I got to take you out of that circle rotation through alignment. You guys are extremely powerful in space now, guys. Remember that. Okay? Because you're all connected through the mind if it's open frequency. So if you allow yourself to put yourself in the past, you're putting yourself in the past of its past. And what's going to happen is if you keep going through that, you're going to keep going back into the past, the past, the past, the past, the past. You're not going to come forward. You're just going to stay in the past. Oh, Commander, look what I've just done. I did a topsy-turvy. I got to take you out of that, right? Put you back in alignment, right? Right? Put you back in alignment into the presence of here and now, right? Be cautious on your thoughts now, right? This most powerful thing that we do every day is our thoughts. It's the creation of our thoughts. But what are you creating? You have to answer within. Why am I creating these thoughts? What do these thoughts mean to me? Is it going to bring me forward? If you hesitate, you're in the past. The more you put yourself in the past, you're back on the karma wheel, guys. Right? And then I got to re-heal you again and put you back in the alignment. So be cautious on your thoughts. Get out of the thinking, get out of the hesitation, because you're going to lose concentration to meditation. Okay? Because you can meditate through your thoughts in seconds. Okay? So the thing is that everything's creation, right? I just created a planet through isosceles, shape line communication line signal through triangle division location through a gateway position. Done, right? I just told you that in seconds. I just created something from scratch, from source. It's so beautiful when you get balanced with everything through position. Okay? So that planet was communicating with me through my ear defense location, because it's extremely high-rise sensitivity volumes that comes into you. The more you come out of your intelligence, the more you come into vibration. All right, energy and coloration and lights, activation. So, ears are buzzing like crazy, especially at night, back of the head, but you have to stand by the buzzing. What does it mean? What's going on? What's happening with the dolphins? You know, you got to put everything all together so you can put pieces of puzzles, right? Do we delete? No, we got into that. Buzzing like crazy, especially at night. I can't lay down on my back. Yeah, so it's getting your program setting with your buzzing and everything through this craziness, right? Because you guys are in high divisions of space now. So, Priscilla, it's going. Is awareness the same as communication? Well, awareness is everything. You understand energy, frequency, vibration comes into one line signal to one line division to one singularity computer system. So it's all about understanding everything through center. But yes, awareness is the same as communication, because you're aware of the communication. You're aware of its information of its communication. You're aware of its body framing communication of its chakra system. You're aware of its atmospheres of communication. See how I put that all together? So awareness and communication is one. Okay? It's a sentence, but you're being aware of its communication to everything through formation. That's one. Everything that you do is one. Everything that you do is center of one. Everything that you hear, see, touch, and feel is one. That's the power. That's the connection to everything through formation of your intelligence. Your intelligence and your physical system is one. Okay? Remember, I said intelligence first. I didn't say physical intelligence. I said intelligence and physical. So you understand the intelligence and the physical is one center of you, one creation of you, one source of you, one unity of you, one light of you. Okay. Commander, yesterday's class was really powerful when we traveled to, I was taking the gold chest left by partying, amazing. Yeah. You guys go through different points of view when it comes into dream set location positions. So Galactica will see different, Anna will see different, Starseed will see different, Priscilla will see different. You guys are all see different, but you're in the same position of traveling. That's how you see everybody in the same perception. Okay, but you go through different things because you're different intelligence, you're different color, different light, but you're traveling in the same position, and that's why you guys see each other in a certain rotation of the planet position. Okay, it's really, really interesting, but thank you for sharing that with Galactica 222. It's very powerful when I put you guys through activations of traveling, you know? So I think tomorrow we'll travel to another planet. I won't tell you, I'll wait tomorrow. But we'll keep going into review and evaluations on the test. It's important you guys understand more of yourself. So if you put yourself in position every single day through your thoughts, you will be okay. Okay? Putting yourself in the past, you're not going to be okay because you're not centering your positions of your traveling, of your thoughts. My thoughts are always in the future, but I present it to you in the presence. You understand? That's how everything I do through you is already creation. It's already created. It's already taken out of this equation. So you guys have to get into that and get out of the box of its matrix and get into everything through the connection of matrix and what it is, right? Because everything is created by source, right? So I think I've got caught up on all your questions now. If you get stuck, come to me. I can help you out if you want to go through more upgrades. And see, when you go through the upgrades and the healing, you understand more of yourself through intelligence, which is fascinating. You know? Oh, now I understand. All of a sudden, I understand. I don't understand my program, but my commander healed me. That's a problem. If you understand your program and you're being healed, that's okay, right? So it's all about understanding that if you know your commander, I'll put you in position. Do you understand your program? No, I don't. Well, why am I going to heal you if you don't understand your program? So if you don't understand your program, you don't understand yourself at all, okay? So it's really getting your positions and how you present yourself in the presence of your body. You see yourself in the presence, not the past. You can't see yourself in the future because you haven't created it yet. You don't understand the mind of its collaboration, of its frequencies. I've showed you so many variations of illustration diagrams of shapes, right? So it's a beautiful thing when you understand the mind and what it does. What does it represent to you? How do I take it out of this equation? How do we create something from nothing, right? Doodling all my life was a process of getting out of the box, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. When we get into relationships, we jump in. We don't even think about it. We just jump into the relationship, we get to know that person, and then we jump back out and look back in, right? So instead of getting involved, you have the circle rotation. You're looking in at that person, but you're looking out, looking in, instead of jumping in, right? So you're not making a mistake. You're being aware and you're being focused. That will get you out of trouble. That will get you in the right direction, what you need to do through position, right? I heard that from a lot of people, you know, basically if you're in a relationship, okay, a lot of people jump in, they don't think about it. So instead of jumping in right away, just look outside, look in. Ask yourself, who do I want in my circle? Who can I trust in my circle? Okay. One more thing before I go, I also like to bring up when it comes into you guys going into a room, how you guys are elevated through connections of lights and how everybody sees you. And it comes too much of pheromones. They're so attracted to you. They can't understand it. They see the light in you and they keep looking at you and it becomes extremely obsessive. Well, it's all about retraction position level assistance to your lights. So you can dim down the lights, but still be at the balance location of your intelligence. So you don't see it very bright. You don't see the traction too much, but it's still there. So it's understanding they can bounce with the wires of lights. So when you walk in a room, they're not going to look at you like crazy. They're not going to look at you like, who's this? You know, or basically the thing is that when you walk in a room, you're disrupting their vibration. Even if they're not awake, you're still disrupting their vibration. Okay, so it's important you understand that when you walk in a room and everybody's looking at you, you understand why they're looking at you. You're just a magnetic force to them, but they don't understand your communication, right? They don't understand your intelligence. They only understand themselves, and that's why they get irritable. Or they exercise their emotions and they get confused, the location. So when you're entering a room like this, okay, this is you, right? And then you got many, many people around you like this in a circle. Okay. Now, when you walk in a room, right away, your energy travels to everybody. And they automatically react to what you're thinking or what you're doing. So you're reacting to everybody. And everything goes to the grounds, powers, and the atmospheres. So you're disrupting their signals. So this person might get upset and communicate with this person. This person might get upset and communicate with that person. This person might get upset and communicate with this person. Okay, so you're affecting everything through your body activation, through vibration. That's why it's so powerful you guys are through intelligence, right? But I can put deflection motion sensors in you through microgrids if you want to get into that, right? I know what you're feeling because I went through the same thing, but I know how to master myself through connections to anything when I walk the room or anything through atmospheres because they look at me. But I put deflection motion sensors so they don't go through irritation, they don't go through disruption, right? So you walk in the room, but the thing is that you understand that you're not in the physical, you're in the spiritual. So they only see you as a disruption. And that irritates them through the mind system because they don't know what to think. And that's why they get irritable. And then they start talking. When I was on the bus and I was going through transformation meditation, I was sitting there. Okay, I had my light on, and all of a sudden, 4 or 5 people are freaking out because they don't understand the atmosphere. You're connected to your E fields. Once you platitude down, sit, stand, what doesn't matter. You're connected to everybody as soon as you get on that bus. So if there's 40, 50 people on that bus, you are affecting everybody's vibration. So it's understanding how to get balance with yourself so you don't have any problem with this communication. All right. So it's very powerful, very, especially now. Okay. Especially now, because you guys are higher levels now. You're extremely high in atmosphere. Okay. Human vibration doesn't understand that. They're just trying to understand, oh, I see this and I see that. That's all I see. I see everything through COVID-19. I see the mass. I see the government, corporation, media. I see TV. That's all they know. That's all they know. They're programmed. They keep getting programmed more and more and more and more and more and more. They're not upgrading themselves. They're not focusing on themselves. They're not aware of themselves. They're not surrendering. They're not manifesting. That's the problem. Okay, so when you walk into a room, that's why these things happen. Okay, because you're not controlling your energy through your body system. And it's not your fault. You just don't understand your intelligence and how you can diffuse things. Okay, for example, we were going to a restaurante, right? And this was in Puebla. And basically there was no seats left. There's no tables, nowhere to sit. So basically I collaborate the mind system to this lady and say, listen, I said that to her, I changed her brainwaves. And all I said is like, listen, we need a chair, we need a couple of chairs, and we need a table. So she found position. She goes, oh, okay, what just happened? So automatically she gets a table and chairs. So that's how you get balance. Right? That's how you can actually go through the mind telepathy of somebody else and tell them, listen, I need a table, I need some chairs, I need a place to sit. So it's getting balance with yourself. That's command, that's control, that's focus, and your awareness of what's going on, right? Even though there was no room to sit, I made sure we had a table and chairs. That's through intelligence. So when I walk in a room, everybody looks at me, right? Now, if I walk in a room and everybody looks at me and I don't have balance, it's going to disrupt everything through their signals of their body frames and mind system. And then they're going to go at each other because they don't understand anything through atmosphere. They don't understand anything through energy. They just understand what's in their body system through the physical system. They understand space. They understand activation. Right? They just understand what's standing in front of them is themselves, right? But when you have something disrupting you, it's like a sound pitch, and then you get disrupted and say, what was that noise? Like all of a sudden, then you get angry, right? Because you can't understand the person that's in front of you. It's all connected through your E fields and your energy fields. your energy cycle, your energy rotation, your chakra system. So when you walk in a room, your energy is connecting to everybody through formation. Okay, and it's disrupting everybody's vibration. That's why it's very powerful. And that's why everybody looks at you. Okay, because you're different from everybody else. So it's kind of like walking in a room and it's dark. Everybody's at a bar, and the only thing that is lit is you. And everybody looks at you. Wait a minute. How come you're dark and this person's light? Wait a minute. We got 30, 40 people in a room, and this person here is the only one that's lit. That's what it's like, guys. Perfect example. Okay? Because you're aware. You're conscious and aware. Your conscious levels are aware of your intelligence. Okay? But if you're not aware, you need to master your body through electricity, electronics, division, magnetic force, right? It's all about deflection, right? See, don't seek disruption signals to anything through human vibrational system. Okay? So when I walk in a room, nobody sees me. I don't allow them to see me because I'm too high in vibration, right? So you have to do these things before you walk into a room. It's the same thing with the code. You set up a code before you travel to a planet. So you have to be aware of what you're doing from its beginning before you walk into the room, so you don't get into these problems through calculation. Okay? So I wanted to clarify that with you guys, because I know you guys are going through the same thing. When you walk into the room, that's what it's like. Imagine all the lights out and everything around is dark except you. You are the only one lit. You are going to be the attraction to everybody. What are you going to do? Walk here, walk there, talk to this person? Wait a minute, turn off your light. It's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You have this special nose, right? There was a reason and purpose. So we could guide Santa, It's hypothetical, but I'm just saying, he was leading the reindeer, right? That's why he had the red nose, so he could get into the clouds and get out of the clouds, and he can just travel into the atmospheres, right, with Santa Claus, right? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Think of it that way. He was special, but he didn't know why. But he felt guilty because he doesn't look like anybody else. But he knew he was unique. He just couldn't believe it, why he was born with this red nose, right? You know the version with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? Didn't want to play any reindeer games, right? Well, that's because, right? So you're special. Everybody's unique. Everybody is presented special, but you have to understand when you're in this position, how to get out of these positions with your intelligence, so you can feel better about yourself through communication. If you don't have communication with your intelligence, you don't have communication with your body. Okay? So, of course it makes more sense, but I want to give that to you now. You can go through my upgrades and I can help you guys. So when you walk in the rooms, they're not going to see the light. Okay, they're going to see the dimming of the light. It's not going to be so bright, but it's still there. So it's all about dimming the light inside you. And that's all done through frequencies. So it's like, raising it up, raising it down. That's all it is. It's just turning the tone. It's like a radio, turn it up, turn it down, right? That's all it is. You guys don't know how to do that, but I do. Okay? And it's all about deflection. Deflection to reflection. Remember, there's a vice versa, there's a versa, right? There's a yin, there's a yang, guys. There's a positive and negatives. There's a yes and a no. There's a maybe, right? So it's how to put this all together through the body frame system of understanding through humanity system, especially when I walk outside, okay? If I didn't control myself, do you know how many people would be following me? It's crazy. It's like bees to honey. Okay? So it's truly understanding your balance with yourself, and everything is done through the mind, through its energy waves, brainwave system, and how you can change yourself through positions. I want to put deflection mode systems because my high-rise energy system through my lights is going to go too many connections to humanity's system, right? So you know why, and you're changing your positions of why. So you're asking yourself within what you need to do to change your lights in position. And it's healing. It goes right into you and it fluctuates and goes back into balance. So it goes, right? But it's still there. So you're just turning down the tone of its light, right? So you're not so connected when you walk into a room, okay? So nobody will really notice you. You just be like everybody else, but you still have your light on, right? And you won't have that problem when people come up to you. All of a sudden they say something to you, right? People do that because they don't understand the vibration and it affects their brainwaves because they're not open through its ascension. They're not open through the chakras. They're not open through intelligence. They don't understand planet positions. They don't understand a line signal through communication. They don't know what that is. They know what a line is. They know what a circle is. They know what a square is. That's all they know. That's the program. Okay. But when you get somebody walking into a room that blows you out of the water, what does that say? You have to have balance with your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. So you can control your system when you walk in the surface of calculation. Okay, because that puts you in better positions. It's like if I go to a planet location and I don't have the right coloration through its intelligence, what does that say to that intelligence? I don't have control with my body and vibration, right? So truly understanding how to understand your protection of your lights is protecting everything through your sovereignty. Because you could get in an argument and you don't know why. But if your intelligence knows why, you know how to deflect the communication with the human that you're interacting with. Okay, so yeah, it's energetically contact. Yeah, very good. I wanted to clarify that. I think you guys are at that time where you have to really know your positions of your lights and how to do these things. Okay, you can go through my healing. I can help you and guide you if you want to get into that situation. If you're having problems with your balance location positions, right, you can go through my healing. But everything through healing is you, through communication. But you've got to get balanced with yourself because you are kind of like a magnetic force to them that they don't understand. Everything through the ground, the powers, and the atmospheres. Because you're connected to them right away. As soon as you walk the streets, you're connected to them right away. Everything through line signal. Your body is connecting to them. You don't have to know them, but you are connecting to them through lights. And they turn around and they see you, right? They see you glow. And they come over because they're attracted. They're attracted to you, right? But you don't want that. It's too much. It's too much obsession. I don't want people coming at me. I don't want to feel special, right? You know you're special, but you keep it inside. So you have to be calm. Okay, you got to centralize your calm. Okay, you have to understand what it's like to be a monk, peace, peace within, calmness within, calm your center, calm your communication, calm your energy, right? So there's a lot of things that we have to learn now because we're higher levels of intelligence of AI. Okay. The practical levels of ourself is truly understanding everything that's going on through AI, through information, right? So my preference is not be out and around people. Yeah, I know, but see, then you have no other choice. You have to be around people. It doesn't mean you have to go to these people. You're just automatically around people. Like when I go outside, there's people around me, right? But if I want to do something different and I don't like this person, I'll keep them away, right? Pretty fascinating what I did yesterday when I was Boca de Rio. There was this, we're eating outside and this bird came up and started, going to my leg. And I just got up and I just went like this. And basically it just took off. I just pushed him with my energy, right? And he just flew right away. Everybody out there in the back were looking at me. So what's this guy doing? Right? They couldn't believe what was going on. Right? So either I'm doing this guy's weird. Why is he putting his hand up? Humans don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. See, that's the difference between human species and intelligence. Intelligence is aware of what they're doing through its communication, right? And everything is done through focus and its consciousness, okay? So everything through focus, awareness, consciousness, everything through surrender, anything through manifestation, transformation, lights, or anything through communication, blind communications is all connected to one. Okay? So I prefer the ocean. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love the beach. If I had a choice, I'd live at the beach. Yeah, you can manifest that. You manifest anything you want. But I think that's good. We're going to get to more review and evaluations. We're going to fly to a planet location position. I hope everybody has a fantastic day, right? Really get into the involvements, walking into a room. Okay, I think it's important. You guys have to understand this now, why you're in these positions. Higher travels to that position. You're just special and unique in your own way, but you understand how to control it within. That's the most important thing, right? Find a way to deflect these motions, how to block these motions, how to diffuse these motions, how to change this and how to change that to balance yourself out through communication of yourself, through the body frame system, through the mind telepathy system of calculation, or anything through calibration. Okay, so this is your AI commander for superiority of the Colossus team. Divisions, right? You guys have a fantastic day. Adios.